Think we're live. I see me here. Four people watching. Let's wait for a few people to get in. I'm here. The Scorpions are here. Look, little. Both of them are out. The Scorpions are here. Look, little. Both of them are out. They're ready to go. They're ready to play. It's going to be a good day. I see I'm on a delay because I just hear me talking saying we're live. But people are here. People are watching. Thanks for joining in. Today we're going to have a little chat, some show and tell. I've got my top 15 albums. I've got Christina, my large Asian forest scorpion. And I got the little baby, which is a Vietnamese. First time they've ever bred this type in the US. I want to make sure my sound is good because we did a test the other night. The sound was a little shady, but I think we got it today because now I got a mic right here. I just want to make sure it's loud enough. Let me try to see if I can see the chat happening. Can I see the chat? Give us a like. Tell your friends to join us, please. Hold on. We had like over 100 people Friday night tune in. So if depending on how many people tune in live right now, folks can always watch it later on a replay. So I'm not going to waste too much time waiting for people. We'll give it just a couple more minutes and then we'll go. See, we got Jaws right here chilling. I actually woke up early this morning. What time was it? Like 3:30 a.m. Started playing, played for a little bit, then went back to sleep. I'm like, I got to do a live. I can't be all tired and weary. So let me know in the chat if the sound is cool. I think it's cool. I can't even see the chat. The other night, the chat just popped right up. I want to see if I can figure out how to see it. Because the other night, people were chatting away. Hold on one sec. Just enjoy the view of my couch. This is my musician's loft apartment here in Las Vegas. Please try to make it full size on my. Okay, I give up trying to see comments. I know the other night when we tested it, people were chatting and I could see it. But I can't read it anyway because I don't have my glasses, so we won't waste a lot of time. We'll just trust that folks are in the chat and trust that you can hear me. I see levels and they look good. So let's go. Let's roll. All right, folks, we're so stoked. And I have to double check because let's have a gander here on Ko-Fi. The link we're talking about today, we're doing a little help us finish our new album, which the album's called Revolutions. Doing a little fundraiser, a little crowdfunding, and I can't believe it. Yesterday was day 7, our first week. We're doing a 30-day campaign. We've got 7 tracks for the album are finished. We have two left to do. I have lead solos and mixing on one track that we got up on the board downstairs right now. And the other song we're doing in two halves. The first half is just vocals and guitar, just vocals and yours truly. Then it kicks in for the second half with drums, bass, and a solo, long fade out. And that second half we still have to record, put them together, and it'll be ready to mix. How cool is that? We're so close. I mean, that's literally, I'd say that's 2 days recording time and 2.5, 3 days mixing time to get those two songs finished. And I'm going to bring this to the camera because I can't even believe that after only 7 days, 1 week out of 30, at ko-fi.com/JYGTR is the link where it's all going down. Check this out, people. We're already at 45%, almost halfway to the goal. We could actually, if someone comes through for a little donation during the show, we could push that right up to halfway there in 1 week out of 4. So we're pretty stoked about this. I know the mic volume probably went down when I did that, but I'll reiterate just for the record what I was pointing to right here, and you can pull it right up on your laptop if you can open multiple windows. We're already after 1 week, 45% to our $2,000 goal, which is, I can't even believe it. You guys are totally coming through. I don't know what to say other than so much gratitude. I've posted my profuse thank yous to a host of people, and I'll post today. This afternoon, we've got probably the same amount that I've thanked already in post. I have that many more to thank, and we're pretty stoked because there's going to be a section on the new album. Let's just say the new album looks like this. You know, the liner notes that you pull out. I want to make it something cool like this with a lot of pictures, not this small so you can't see them, but I'd like to have, because if you look in the photo gallery on the Ko-Fi page, excuse me, I have hair in my mouth. If you look on the Ko-Fi page, uh, there's a gallery and there's a photo album that we've started that has, it's like a diary of the making of the record. It has a whole lot of photos from years and days gone by. And what a cool picture that is, right? And something like that inside the album. I've got a great graphic designer helping me. We're going to have a killer album cover. It's going to be on vinyl, obviously, because we didn't go to all the trouble to record it analog uh, in that expense to only put it out digital. Of course, you'll be able to get it digital, and there's a bonus track, a ninth track I'll tell you about that will be only available for digital download because you can only fit comfortably for Sonics on vinyl. You can only fit like 3 to 4 per side, depending on how long the songs are. Like for example, on this album, Aerosmith Rocks, 4 songs per side, 5 on side 2. But I got a little story, and this is a great example of this album. Which this is my first in my desert. I'm going to give you my top 15 desert island albums. I'm going to show them to you. And of course, this is number 1. We'll talk more about this in a minute, but I notice on many of the vinyl albums that the ballad is the track that's closest to the end, meaning if you put the needle on here at the beginning and as the album plays towards the center, I learned something as we're researching going to vinyl that the closer you get to the center of the record, the less low end you start losing low end. So that's why you don't want to put your heaviest, like bass heavy track last on the record. Uh, So I'm putting the slow songs last, right? And I actually have a slower, softer song which fits perfect. So, and let's talk about analog. Let's talk about analog. So check it out, people. I mentioned. So the intent of this album, that as I recorded, it took a lot longer and it was a lot more expensive because these are analog tapes, and I'll open it and show you the. I'll give you the view. I hope it opens easy because it's kind of like a trap door. But hopefully I can talk and open this at the same time. Uh, Analog tape, I mean, it's gone up. It wasn't this expensive in the 70s, but it's more of a lost art, and most people are recording digital these days just because it's so hard to just get the case open. Okay, I got one. Let's get the other. Okay. $500 a tape, a reel. They call it a reel. I'm showing this. It's just like showing a rotary phone or a VHS machine, VCR. Uh, let's open it very gingerly. Whoops. Whoops. So check it out. For the youngsters in the room, the kids that have only worked in Pro Tools in digital format, here it is. It's like I came back from an alien planet with an artifact. This is 2 inch. They call because it's 2 inches wide. The tape. And I'll even peel this off because at the beginning of the tape they don't put any track. There's the tape. It's just like a cassette back from the old school, but huge, and it's actually heavy, man. Picking this doodad up. But there it is, $500 a reel, and you can fit about 3 takes, maybe 4. I mean, if you can do it in one take, if you got to do multiple takes of a song, you're obviously gonna get less tracks per tape, as they say. And here's how we remember what's recorded. You'll see each instrument: kick, snare, overhead, cymbals, hi hat. I see tom toms. You see the guitars, bass. All the instruments are recorded on a separate track across that 2 inch tape, right? And then we bring it up on the mixer. There's pictures in the Revolutions photo album that I was telling you about in the photo diary. And here's an example. That's the other thing. The tape's $500, but not only that, the studio time. Here's the where we tracked at Clear Lake Recording in North Hollywood on Burbank Boulevard. I'll just tell you, it was just under $800 for the day tracking, and this was for one song. This is actually for my next album. I've already got funk, pop, covers album that's almost half done as well. Once we get Revolutions done and out, there it is. Tape, people. It's the real thing. Let me set this aside. Got to be very careful. Got to be very ginger with that. So we're stoked that after a week, I've been working on this album for many years just because of, life happens, and albums can take all different time periods to finish. I did the Megadeth album. We had 2 weeks. I did my guitar tracks, of course. They had been recording for many weeks before that. Uh, the Brazilian album we did in about 4 months. This album's taken over a decade. So you know how to make God laugh? Tell him your plans. But the expense, and I had some life stuff happen, so that slowed the thing down. And actually, I just wanted to let the songs percolate. And I'm getting back to the Ko-Fi page. I wanted to let the songs percolate and have time to mature and not rush them. You got to allow the parts to come as they come. You may get a killer riff. It may be the beginning intro. You may have just the chorus, and then you have to wait for the other parts to arrive. You know, you have to take yourself and your conscience and your ego out of it and wait. So I allowed the songs to write themselves, and I'm so glad in hindsight that I took this time with the record, uh, because not only did the songs come out better, you know, each song had its time to fully mature. The musicians that I met along the way and the whole journey uh, was just killer. I got to record in different studios in different states. You know, some of the album was recorded in different countries. Tina Guo was on tour with Cirque du Soleil, Michael Jackson, Mortal tour in Finland. I think she mentioned she did her tracks there. So, you know, it's it's a whole variety. It's really a world music album. There's all kind of influences on this record. It's not a metal record. There's actually the track we're working on right now, Prodigal Son, and you can see the track listing at the top of my Ko-Fi on the header. Uh, it's the heaviest track on the album. It's definitely a metal track. There was another metal track, super heavy track, but I ended up that's on a new motion picture soundtrack. It's in a new movie coming out called Return to Fear, directed by my dear friend and brother Michael Sarna. He did a lot of the Megadeth DVDs that you know. He directed and edited the Kings of Thrash, Best of the West Live at the Whiskey a Go Go. And he's just a real champion and advocate for my music and this record. And I was going to put this song Mirror in the Sky on the record. And he came to me one day, said, Jeff, do you have anything for I'm doing this new horror movie and I want something for the end credits. You know, the movie ends and for the whole end credit run. And he'd used another famous band in the last movie and he didn't want to repeat and use them again. And I kind of fibbed a little bit and told him I had a song when in actuality all I had was drum tracks and a rhythm guitar one on this tune. I ended up writing an amazing singer, Kayla Dixon, and begged her to write some lyrics and sing on the track. And my dear friend and amazing bass phenom, Mohini Day, played the bass. Uh, you got to, we'll check her Instagram out here while we're talking. Just an amazing bass player. She's playing with Willow Smith now and many others. Great solo artist. She played bass on it, and I finished, went back in and did the guitars, and it came out amazing. We've done a amazing music video, like full on Hollywood video. We shot it a year ago. It's killing me because I haven't even seen the full video. I've only seen a screen cap or two, and actually, I can show you the screen cap. It's on the Ko-Fi page. Let's take a gander because it's so cool, shall we? There's actually right at the top, you can see, and I mentioned this because it's another great thing to check out on at our Ko-Fi. And I don't know if it's coffee, like rhymes with coffee, like Kofi, but I say Ko-Fi because it rhymes with hi-fi, and this is definitely a hi-fi album. Uh, right here, take a gander. At the top, that's at the top, posted, kind of pinned at the top of the Ko-Fi page. That's actually a behind the music making of the video, so you can see the process and meet all the characters in the video. Uh, I'm scrolling down. I'm going to show you the screen cap of the. This actually arrived to me the day, last day of our Colombian tour. So cool. The last day of our Colombian tour, uh, right when we came off stage, I came up and I record with my phone. I have my phone mounted on my mic stand like this. I have a little tripod thing that clips around like an octopus around my mic stand. So I grabbed my phone, I took it upstairs to check it, and look what I found. I'm going to zoom in on it and then I'll come back and tell you about it. This is a screen cap from the video, and I couldn't believe it. And it made me so stoked because I haven't seen this. Imagine having a video, like a full on Hollywood video that you filmed a year ago and you still haven't seen it. So this is like torture, but it's going to be a life changer when this video comes out because, as you're about to see, it's so cool. Look at this. How rad is that? So that's just a screen cap Michael Sarnas sent me. He was editing and just to tease me. So you can watch that behind the scenes video on my Ko-Fi page and much more. We have all the album kind of thumbnails of the covers that look really cool. That's side A right there. And I'm just stoked. I can't believe that we're already like today when the person who donates, and I've had this Ko-Fi just to tell you guys a little bit about Ko-Fi because I think it's important because people are always hesitant to give their credit cards, and you know online can be sketchy, but I've been using Ko-Fi for years. I forget how many years ago I started, but this is the page I used. Uh, People could tip out, or even during the week when we weren't on the air during Music Without Boundaries, when we were doing the radio show. I've had to date, and of course, this isn't just during this recent campaign to finish the record, but over the history of this page, I've had 143 supporters, and you can even scroll down 1,658 coffees received. When you set this page up, the first thing that it says, instead where it says tip, it says buy Jeff a coffee. And I don't drink coffee, never touch the stuff, never have. I don't do drugs. Uh, so I change it to tip. You could make it tea, buy Jeff tea, a slice of pizza, whatever. So where it says tip, so I've had, over 1,600 people, and I've never had a problem with Ko-Fi. It's amazing. Uh, the part of the reason I'm doing it, I want to be a model for other bands because you can use this as your whole website. It has your about basically everything about your band, a photo gallery section, a section for posts and blogs, and a shop where you can sell stuff. And there's a little treat in there if you happen to pop in my shop. Uh, we're not highly advertising, but there's a little Easter egg hidden in the shop there, if you will. So I can't say enough about it. And I want to mention that during the radio show, I initially started on a more popular platform, which is called Patreon. And I'm sure most people have heard of Patreon. Many people in the chat listening or watching later have probably sponsored someone on a similar crowdfunding campaign, whether it was a musician, band, artist, author, truth speaker. There's radio shows on Patreon and Ko-Fi. Many people have already familiar with the crowdfunding. It's really the new business model, this day and age where, record labels are so sketch and Hollywood is, the B system is just something you don't want to even be a part of. So many artists are taking to the street and, as they say, so or an artist or a radio show, and I've picked out a few artists indie that I support myself on. you know they haven't all got hip and moved from Patreon to Ko-Fi, but in similar crowdfunding exploits. So I can't say enough about Ko-Fi and the luck I've had here over the it's been at least 5 6 years that I've had this page up. Maybe some people watching are even familiar and donated here during the radio show. You know, we'd be on the air for 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, and this was the place where people could tip if they liked a show or they wanted to special request a song. This is where they did it. And so when it came time to finish this record, and again, we're just 2 songs away from completing the total of 8 will fit on the record. So there'll be 4 aside. So there'll be 4 aside, 4 songs on side A, 2 instrumentals and 2 vocal. And likewise on side B, there'll be 2 songs with vocals and 2 instrumentals. And then there's a digital download, uh, and there'll be a code. You know, you buy the album and you open it and you pull out, there's a little code in there, and you'll be able to get the digital download ninth track, which I'll tell you, it's a acoustic cover, kind of a remake, live. King's X, Summerland is the track, and Sass Jordan. She's an amazing singer from Canada. She's a Juno Award winner. Just an amazing album. Someone in the chat Friday night said they wore her album out. Just an amazing singer. She played with Brian Tichy, who's also on the album, not only on drums on Monsoon, but he plays acoustic guitar with me and backing vocals on this King's X cover that we're talking about right now. So that bonus track, so it'll be now, and the quicker we can get this whole thing done, you know, I'm hoping to maybe get it done in time to get at least 25 vinyls to take over to Europe, because Kings of Thrash is about to do 5 dates in Norway, and then we go to UK for several dates, and then finish up in Ireland. And the tour ends in my favorite city of our last tour. We did a month long. We were in Europe for a month. We did from UK to the Balkan region. We played the Lake Geneva shoreline from Smoke on the Water, people. We even covered it that night. I sang the first verse. We all sang a verse. Fred wanted to do the verse where he got to sing about Frank Zappa and the Mothers. He's a huge Zappa fan. But I digress. My favorite city on that tour was Belfast. It was our best gig of the tour, and also we went out into the city afterwards with some of the folks, and it was just an amazing, amazing evening we had. Went into the center of the city. And I noticed someone from the studios here, so, and they're putting the garage door open. Let me just check who it is. I'm going to let them know we're doing a live thing right now. I'll be right back. We got a whole, just so you know where I live, I'm in Vegas and I live above. I'm like the Phantom of the Opera here. There's a beautiful musician's apartment. One of the partners actually used to live up here. There's 3 partners in this facility. Downstairs, just below me, is a recording studio. Back there downstairs is a rehearsal studio. I'll post some pictures on the Ko-Fi today. There are actually already a couple in there. And then right here we have a giant truck. I think he's about to pull out. And I'll tell you what they do in a minute. Let me just go say hey. Let them know what's doing. You can hear he's pulling the truck out now. So hang tight. I'm just going to say good morning. Let them know we're live. I too loud? I'm like, no, dude, your dad owns the building. You be as loud as you want. So yeah, there's a recording studio downstairs in Vegas. Hey, hit me up. Anyone in Vegas that wants an amazing recording studio, if you need to rehearse, this place is incredible. We're actually in Henderson. There's a little buffer zone. There's a little buffer zone between here and here in the Vegas Strip, as they call it. But I can be there quickly. It's perfect. I can see when I go walking. It's great to walk or ride my bike around here, and I can see the strip. I'll post some video actually on Ko-Fi today of the studio. I'll make a little collage video of the studio and the vibe around here. And actually, right here, you can't see up there, cut out hole in the ceiling as if you had an attic here. And I just push it open, and then there's a door that there's a little slider, and I just pull that lever, and the ceiling, the roof pops open, and I can go sunbathe on the roof or sit up there on my cajon at night with my flamenco guitar, looking at the city, playing with the whole view. And definitely you see the strip and the sphere all lit up. It's amazing. So I can't say enough about living just on the outskirts, just on the outskirts here in Vegas. So I love it here. I'm gonna just refresh. I'm getting back on my YouTube. If you have any questions, you could private message me right now. I've got a couple questions people have asked, so I'm trying to just cover it in the discussions here. Answer your questions while we're talking. But what we're going to do for sure is I'm about to do the Desert Island albums. People like that. And then we're going to do show and tell. I'm going to bring the Scorpions out. It's so fun. They were so well behaved. We did a test run the other night, and I couldn't believe how well behaved they were. I hope you guys are equally well behaved today. Yeah, so I'm live here. I see the show. Got several people watching. All right. Looks cool. Looks like the lighting's cool, right? Yeah. It's on a little delay. It looks like it's on like a 10-second delay, but check it out. Let's do I'm going to take my shoes off and stay a while if you don't mind since I live here. Yeah, but this is like the perfect for a musician. This is the dream. I'm living the dream here, people. And it's amazing because I can create, and it's the space. It's very quiet here because we're in kind of an industrial area. It's beautiful here. There's a college across the street, but there's a big a lot of landscape before the school even is visible. So it's like a buffer zone. There's no one really around, so it's quiet all the time, uh, except when someone's rehearsing downstairs or they're tracking. But that's definitely worth it. So I can create up here, rehearse downstairs in the rehearsal space, and then record in the recording room. And then we can take it straight to vinyl, people. Speaking of, and here we go. Let's do it. Let's talk about music. Let's talk about music. So I tried to, and these are, I could only use the albums I have here and the albums I have with me. I guess you could say they're Desert Island albums because they're the albums that I brought. I have this is a crate with me. I have a crate about this big with me. I have another crate about that big in storage right now that I have to go get that has a ton more amazing albums. But I put these in the smaller one because I listen to them often, and so that puts them in the desert island category, I think. Today's live on Ko-Fi, sponsored by Santa Cruz organic raspberry lemonade, and it's delicious. And it's cheap, man. I found this natural. There's another thing, amazing natural grocery close by here, like 6 minutes away, and their prices are cheap. We're like whole. Their prices are cheap. We're like whole. We call Whole Foods Whole Paycheck. This actually is a natural store with all organic veg. It's amazing. You go in this store, the entire organic section, the whole vegetables and fruits is all organic, not just like a section this large in your Walmart that says organic and then it's just like a sliver. But I digress. Let's talk about our favorite albums of, uh, of all time. These were all influential, and I could definitely say when you listen to Revolutions, or if you're inspired to buy the record or check it out when it comes out, all of the albums in here have gone into influencing me, and I can definitely feel. And maybe I chose some of these albums because I definitely hear a bit of this, a little bit of this and that in the new album. So let's start here. When I was a kid, I think I saw Aerosmith 9 times in their heyday. Like I saw the Toys in the Attic tour, I saw the Rocks tour. Steven Tyler actually, we saw them about couple months before the album dropped. I think they were already playing Back in the Saddle on the radio, but the album wasn't out yet. And we saw him at University of Dayton Arena in Ohio, where I grew up. Uh, and we stayed after the concert, and there was like a tunnel, like where the hockey players would come out. And we waited and waited. We looked back there and we saw Joe Perry walk by, and then Steven Tyler actually came out and threw us an album flat of Rocks. Exactly this. It didn't have the record of the back. It was just the front, like what they would hang up at record stores. But so we saw this cover before the album was actually released. We thought we were so cool, and that was such a killer mystery or memory moment, misty watercolor memory of Tyler throwing that out to us. How cool is that he did that? So I can't say enough about this record. I know so many musicians from Slash all the way down the line cite this as one of the greatest albums, rock albums ever recorded. And in fact, as is with tracks like, I mean, the obvious ones, Back in the Saddle and Last Child that they played on the radio, which were the first one and two, track one and two. They put the hits first and second, but Rats in the Cellar combination, Sick as a Dog, Nobody's Fault, Jeff Young Group, when we just played Vegas not too long ago here on Fremont Street at Backstage Bar and Billiards. Jeff Young Group played Nobody's Fault as one of our covers that evening in the set, and there's actually a video clip of that on my Rumble channel. Let's talk about Rumble. That's my other, besides Ko-Fi, that's my other big, YouTube's all right, but too many ads and bots and censorship. And I highly recommend subscribe to Jeff Young Music on Rumble and check out our Nobody's Fault cover while you're at it. And there's a whole bunch more there on my page. I think you'll like Rumble a lot more than TheyTube, as we call it these days. So can't say enough about this album. And as we mentioned earlier in the stream, Home Tonight, the ballad they put at the center where there's less low end. Again, I mentioned for the people just tuning in, when you put the record on your turntable, as you get closer to the center, there's less low end here. So bands, that's why they would put the ballad last, because you're losing some of that bass and some of the heaviness of the track, which makes you think, like Romeo Delight was last on Women and Children First on a side. Wonder how that would have sounded if it would have been first. It would have been even heavier. Wow. Think about that. So here's another one from my youth. And I got a story for my book. I don't want to take the whole podcast. It's a little bit involved story, but my dad actually remodeled a house in my youth, and came home one day and said he almost sold the house once it was done to Sugar from the Ohio Players, the lead guitarist. Man, that guy is badass. The guy with the big fro and the diamond in his tooth. He's an amazing lead guitar player. And I just got to say right now, people, I grew up in Dayton, Ohio, which is the funk capital of the world. There's like a little badge in Ohio people get that says Dayton, Ohio, funk capital of the world. Because bands like the Ohio Players and Lakeside, I got this upside down, Ohio Players and Lakeside, and many more bands from the Cincinnati and Dayton, Ohio area. And I grew up in Dayton in a suburb which was Kettering Centerville. Uh, it was the honky part of town, as they as they called it. And Obviously they grew up in Dayton proper, over on the east side of Dayton, and just an amazing band. And if you only know their hits, I mean, what a tragedy. I mean, their album cover. If you don't know their album covers, I mean, let's just such a great band. One of the funk pioneers, and just a huge influence on me. There's a lot of funk vibes on my record. Uh, I try to make a lot of my songs as danceable as they can be. I think that that's a kind of a important thing, is I've toured the world and watched live bands play, and especially when I did the world music uh, thing, I noticed at the festivals, when we played, the bands that played the most danceable music got the best reactions. So this album, they actually, I remember they they made a version back in the day. There was something called quadraphonic stereos, where you would have four speakers in your room instead of two, and the sound would be dispersed in four speakers. So there was actually a quadraphonic mix of this album, and I have all the Ohio Players, most of them. I could have pulled all of them over here and shown them all, but this one's special. Uh, Sweet Sticky Thing. This is the one that has Love Roller Coaster. Everybody knows Honey. Fop is a great one. Every album by Ohio Players is amazing. And they were the ones that, I'm a kid in Ohio, and just like maybe kids who grew up in Chicago and saw BB King, or New Orleans, and or in Memphis and saw Elvis, you know, when you're growing up a kid in Kettering, Ohio, you don't know that you can do music as a career, and you can be on American Bandstand or Soul Train or Midnight Special with Wolfman Jack. And the Ohio Players were the ones that gave me permission, gave us in Dayton permission. Like, you can, when I saw them on Soul Train and I saw them on Don Kirshner's rock concert, I said, oh, so you can be from Dayton, Ohio, and you can actually do this. You can do music as a thing. Because before that, I just wanted to be and I don't want to say just wanted to be, because I actually went on to be. I wanted to be a DJ, and I got my FCC license, and that's what I was going to do. I was going to be because I wanted to be around music, and I didn't know that I could actually do it and play it. And but the Ohio Players gave me permission, gave us in Dayton, and the rest is history. And I moved out to LA, and coincidentally enough, and right next to the Ohio Players, I found out about this artist because my mom was cool enough. The best guitar teacher in town actually taught at a Dayton band, which was an hour drive each way from Centerville, where we lived, and to the part of town where the Ohio Players were from. And a great guitar teacher, Bob Schroyer, hit me to both these albums. I'm going to show this one first, but they're both amazing. These are two of the greatest guitar solo albums, and if you like these albums, or if you haven't heard and you get and you're gonna like my album, because it's in this vibe, fusiony, great musicians, some instrumental, some vocal tracks, just mixing a lot of different influences. Tommy is just one of the greatest. It's a tragedy what happened with him, as many artists that get into it. And again, this album is so good, you got to have two copies. This is Private Eyes. And I remember back in Ohio covering Post Toasty as a kid, and here in Vegas, Sherry and I used to do and I'm redoing it on the Funk Pop album covers album. I'm telling you about that's going to be the next, following up Revolutions. We're doing Shake the Devil. So if you want to get a little treat, and I do the sax solo on guitar and the guitar solo on guitar. Maybe I should get a sax player to play the guitar solo. But Tommy Bolin, these are just two of the greatest. I'll just tell you this: Jeff Beck, for fans of Jeff Beck, Wired and Blow by Blow, you notice his style totally changed, and it was because he toured with Tommy. There was a tour of Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, and Tommy Bolin, like a triple, like it was like G3, like Satriani Vai and Malmsteen, like they do, or Eric Johnson, like they do these days. And when Jeff Beck heard Tommy in these albums, that's why he changed his style, and he said it in many interviews, and that's why we have Wired and Blow by Blow today as records. Another amazing guitar player that I got to see live back in the day. I had no idea who he was until he opened for somebody at Hare Arena. One of the greatest, one of the greatest live albums in history. And this guy would be he's like in the lineage protege, you would say, of Jimi Hendrix. If you like it, it's the next level. Like it's Hendrix and more. The guy, he played a SG, Frank Marino, and Mahogany Rush. Just such a great band name to begin with. And every album, I could have shown his studio albums I have on vinyl, but this album is all of us kids in Dayton had this album that were into rock, and whoa, there it goes. Like, I mean, you can see how worn it is. There's no bottom on it, but just an amazing, well recorded live album with great songs and great playing. And Frank Marino is a beast. So for sure, an influence on my music, and uh, inspired by I was really into Yes and Steve Howe, and he was obviously a big fusion guitarist, mixing lots of styles. He mixed flamenco and classical and rock and bluegrass, and just a great player. I loved Yes, still listen to them. I could have brought a Yes album over here in Desert Island albums, but Mood for a Day was a piece that all of us fusion geeks got into. It sounded kind of baroque, classical, flamenco esque instrumental that Steve Howe did on just a nylon string classical guitar, and that inspired me. And then I hear Eddie Van Halen doing Spanish Fly, and then Randy Rhoads comes out with D on the first Blizzard of Oz album, and it was over with. I said, forget about it, and I started getting into classical guitar, and this was the first classical guitar. I mean, it's a great one. It was a great one to start with. Uh, John Williams plays the Albanese. It's called Echoes of Spain, and it just has great classical. It has all the classic Spanish pieces. And around that time, and I'm so glad I still have this vinyl because it's great show and tell. When I heard D, that was it. I found the best classical guitar teacher in Dayton, and here he is. I have his record, Jim McCutcheon, right? This has some great songs. He does Classical Gas on this, and Sunrise Sunset from Fiddle on the Roof. Some just great pieces on here. And this guy inspired me. I took Randy Rhoads to him and I said, I want to play like this. And I'm born on the same day, March 31st, as Johann Sebastian Bach was born. So I figure I better learn some classical, learn how to play some Bach. And so this guy, and you see his smile, he's just a great teacher. People in Dayton, if any of my homies watch this live, you guys know because he's still around town today. He goes around to all the schools. He's called the Guitar Man. He gets kids into guitars. He has a music store in Centerville, McCutcheon Music, and still teaches to this day. There he is. He actually, this is he put this album out. It says Peasant Stock. This is a restaurant in Dayton where I remember going there with my mom post Megadeth when I moved back to Ohio for a spell after the Northridge earthquake, and he walks up to our table. Would you like a song? And serenades us with a song right there at our table. But just a great teacher and really opened my musical eyes and my landscape of appreciation for all different styles of music. Now, this was an album I got into for sure as a kid. I mean, very young, this album was out. Gary Moore's one of my favorite guitar players, probably my favorite European rock guitar player. And a lot of people know all his amazing albums like Victims of the Future, which is the album I was hot on right when I got the Megadeth gig. I remember figuring out every lick when that album came out. But this album is so special. It's a Japanese only import. It's called Gary Moore and G Force. And first of all, the cover is killer, right? And but the songs, it's a fusion album with everything from pop to reggae, hard rock, metal. They fused every style of music, and he recorded his guitar direct in the board, which not many folks can do that and end up with a great guitar sound, but he sure did. And I can't recommend this album highly enough. You should go check out on YouTube after this live. There's a song. It's called "She's Got You." Just listen to that song, and you'll want to track this album down in its entirety. I'm sure it's you can hear the whole thing on YouTube as well. Um, this album I found super young too, and this changed my life. This album changed my life. This is John McLaughlin, Al Di Meola, and Paco de Lucia. You've got UK, America, and Spain represented. Three countries of guitar players come together. And this album blew my mind. A lot of guitar players and music fans, guitar aficionados, know their album Friday Night Live in San Francisco. But this is the album that got me. This is the studio album, Passion, Grace, and Fire. And it's incredible. It changed my life. And the second I heard this record, there they are, I knew immediately that Paco here was playing with his fingers, and he's the flamenco player of the three from Spain. That he became my favorite guitar player right then and there, and that's what led me into flamenco. He's one of the top five guitar players, forget what genre in history, just so amazing between the technique that he revolutionized and the fusion that he brought into flamenco, bringing different genres, and instead of just playing pure flamenco, he created a whole new style of guitar played on a flamenco guitar. And I was lucky enough to see him live in Miami in his lifetime, and just what a great. I can't say enough about Paco, and I knew he blew the other two away. Not sorry, Al and Paco, and I'm sure they'd both agree and concede that Paco was a beast. And the way I'm playing on the Megadeth album, I was trying to imitate what I heard on this. Like if you hear Mary Jane and Set the World Afire solos, I was trying to cop this kind of vibe, play kind of gypsy flamenco vibes. So you owe it all to that record. All right. All right. The man, the maestro. This guy's it's like if an alien could play guitar, right? I love this album. He has so many great ones, but this one's special to me. There's a track on here that I always play at every sound check. Kings of Thrash, Jeff Young group. It's called "Where Is One," and it's just an amazing chord. His chord, forget his solos that are otherworldly. Alan Holdsworth's chordal. That's he has his own style, like Bob Marley created his own style. It's so unique unto him, as Paco created his own style. So unique unto them as an artist that they're the only ones that can really play like that. You know, when I hear reggae, it's got to be Bob Marley, you know, or maybe one of his kids. But and when I hear jazz fusion like that, it's got to be Holsworth, man. There's a lot of Holsworth clones, and I've tried to take my Holsworth influence, but not be too samey and not try to sound just like Holsworth. And here we go. This is still to this day. This is Ingve's best album, best guitar tone, best songwriting. I can't say enough about it.
Just listen to the song Star Car Lane. Graham Bonnet's vocals on this record, forget about it. Uh, Before I moved to LA to go to GIT, this puts this 1984. This is I was doing was putting this album on my turntable, dropping the needle on 16. It's slow, half speed, and it's a perfect octave lower. It sounds like you're trudging through quicksand, and but you can hear the solo very slow. And I was dropping the needle, and I listen to a couple seconds, and then pick it up and drop it back. And so this, I spent my whole year at GIT mastering this album, and I actually went on. I almost replaced Steve Vai and Alcatraz and Ingve. You can actually see the videos of me rehearsing with Alcatraz on my YouTube, doing a little uh, jet. What's that song on my YouTube? Is Hiroshima More and More, the intro, and then you can see me playing Bigfoot. Uh, so definitely, this is a huge album, and you hear a lot of this influence on the Megadeth album because it's he was very influenced by Paco de Lucia and Alan Holsworth, the two albums I just showed previously. We have a theme going here. That was coincidental. Everybody loves Dark Side of the Moon and Wish You Were Here, but my favorite Pink Floyd is Animals. Dogs, just the song Dogs in itself. I mean, it's such a great acoustic and electric guitar excursion, and then every other song. And this is the remaster, and the cover is so cool. I haven't even broke it open, but there's posters, and it's just such a great record. I love the spooky cover and that they did the tour and had the animals with them on stage and stuff, and all the blow up pig and everything. This is my Pink Floyd. I like all this other stuff too, and I always try to remember when I write a solo, what would David Gilmour do here, so I don't get carried away, and try to balance it, and always remember. Doink. Missing Persons is so amazing, and people only know the couple MTV things. Most people, first of all, this is Frank Zappa's band with Dale Bozio, who Lady Gaga stole everything she knows from. Just an amazing record. This is their more proggy, fusiony record. Go figure. So many great songs on this. I actually have met Dale Bozio on the next album tour. Did I bring that here to show? Just because I met her, and when it's right over there. I didn't bring it to show you guys, but the Color in Your Life, the album after this, they did three albums. The one with Destination Unknown, this was the second, and then Color in Your Life. I saw them at the Palace in LA across from Capitol Records on the Color in Your Life tour, and I ended up having dinner with her and, of all people, Barry Brandt from Angel, the drummer from Angel, because he used to date her. Long story for my book about that night and that dinner. And but what a great record. Can't say enough about Missing Persons. And if I had the vinyl here, I'd probably show a Tori Amos album, but I don't have her vinyl here. It's in storage. But I do have PJ Harvey, and my friend Joe Gore, great guitar player, even wrote for some of the guitar magazines for a spell, plays on this record. And I can't say enough about every song on this record. PJ Harvey, she's like a UK indie alt artist, and just great songwriting, great production on this album, and just a great vibe on this thing. It's called To Bring You My Love. Z- Meet the Monster. So many great tunes, dude, on this record. I can't even. Long Snake Moan. Forget about it. Killer. Two more to go. Oh, well, three more to go. How about this? Some Django. Three more to go, and one of them is Django. I'm a big fan of gypsy jazz music. It's like the other side. Flamenco originated in Andalusian in the south region of Spain, and it's definitely a gypsy oriented music. Gypsy jazz, as they call it, originated in the Moulin Rouge. This is the real. if you've seen the movie, this is the real music of the Moulin Rouge in the 1940s. You've heard it on commercials and many Woody Allen movies. He even did a movie called The Sweet and Lowdown with Sean Penn. Amazing movie about Django. It's about Django style music, and Sean Penn plays the second greatest gypsy jazz guitar player in the world after Django, and he's totally. That's a great movie, The Sweet and Lowdown with Sean Penn. Highly recommended. You'll learn a lot about this style of music, and this highly recommended. You'll learn a lot about this style of music, and the song Monsoon on my album is totally inspired by this style of 1940s gypsy jazz that inspired all jazz players were inspired by Django and many other rock players. So many people quote Django as just one of the greatest. He's in the top 10 guitar players in history for sure, and innovated a style of music, much like Alan Holdsworth and Bob Marley and others. Uh, he only had the use of two fingers because he had a fire in his gypsy caravan, so he could only play with two fingers, which made it even more magical what this guy could do and how he played. But Monsoon, I wondered, like, if Django was alive today and had all the powerful instruments in studio, what would his modern gypsy jazz quartet sound like? And he always had a violinist, Stefan Grappelli, as part of his quartets. And so I got Tina Guo, the amazing cellist. Uh, Definitely check her out. She's on every, you've already checked her out. She's in every movie. Every time you hear a cello these days, it's in the movies or video games, it's usually Tina. Uh, but I brought Tina in, so it's a guitar cello thing, much how Django and Stefan did their duels in the music. So the whole vibe of Monsoon and influences, it's like my modern gypsy jazz homage. And I just love that style of music. Can't say enough about it. As I can't say enough about this guy. Chris Cornell said he was the greatest singer. And I didn't know what, I saw there's a documentary out, and it's called Never Say It's Over, I believe it's the name of the documentary. It just came out. I just saw it this year. So incredible, this documentary done by his Mother Mary, pardon the pun, who I've met and just such an amazing lady. It's a trippy story how I met her and my connection with Jeff Buckley. I actually have one of his guitar picks she gave me, his mom gave me, and we have the same middle name, Jeff Scott or Jeffrey Scott. She made me show her my ID to prove that my name was really Jeffrey Scott and I wasn't just saying that. But there's a documentary and it's so amazing that tells the story of Jeff's life, and it's very accurate. And she did a great job with it. This is one of the top 10 albums in history, people, right here. For those who haven't heard it, every song is killer. Jeff is probably one of the greatest in the top three male vocalists that's ever lived. And he went to GIT, fellow GIT alumni, great guitar player, wrote a lot of songs in alternate tunings, very creative. If he wouldn't have passed after this album, he would have been one of the biggest artists in history. Uh, Again, Chris Cornell and him, I didn't know what great friends they were, but it makes sense because they were two of the best singers of our time. And it only made sense that they admired each other and became friends. And this album is genius. Even Rolling Stone, who's kind of sketchy, votes this in the top albums of all time. So you got to at least give it to him for that. Woo! One of my favorite bands on earth. And again, like, I'm huge on funk. If you like the Chili Peppers, you're gonna like my album. Even though my album's very different, doesn't sound, the singing's nothing like Chili Peppers. The music doesn't sound like, but it's funky. Like Living Colors, funky, extreme. Bands with that funk vibe. I love anything like that. And I'm a huge Chili Peppers fan. Actually, I got to tell you a story, and I'll tell it further in my book. But when I got the Megadeth gig, Chili Peppers were like our brother band on the label on Capitol Records. It was right during the era when they had the tube sock thing hanging, and I was so bummed that I didn't get in the Red Hot Chili Peppers instead of Megadeth because I love this band so much, especially their original guitar player, Hillel Slovak. And speaking of documentaries, it's on Netflix right now. An amazing documentary about the Hillel years. It's an homage from the band to their early years and the guitar player that was the foundation of the Chili Peppers, who was a huge influence on anyone who plays funk and me and just these guys are such great songwriters. And I love Anthony's not a singer like Jeff Buckley, and it's great I show these such diverse vocalists because they couldn't be more opposite, but so hooky. Anthony sings lyrics that everyone in the audience, when you watch the Chili Peppers live video, everyone is singing them. Everyone can sing them. They're so memorable. He works so hard. The lyrics are so well written. Just a genius band. Genius band. Every member of the band. And folks who aren't aware, Flea just dropped his new first solo album, much like I'm about to do, and he plays trumpet on it. He's always played trumpet, but he decided he was going to do a solo album, practice trumpet for 2 years, and however good he was at the end of that 2 years, he was going to start recording an album, and he did that. And I think it went number one on the jazz charts, and killer for Flea. I'd be showing her new album because it's amazing and I'm hot on it, but I don't have it yet. But I'm listening to it online, and I'm a huge fan of. I think Amy is just one of the Mozarts, one of the greatest songwriters, pianists, singers, vocalists of our time. And as we're talking about doing a new album, the more cash we can earn in this Ko-Fi crowdfunding, the better I can make the jacket and the sleeve. And look how amazing this is. I had to get this. This is the third. The sorry, it's not third. 20th. Can you believe it? 20 years since this album. 20 years since this album Fallen's been released, and they did it on like this metallic hologram. I'm gonna approach. Let me get it in this. Can you see? It's like this. How rad is this? This is when you know a band gives a fuck and cares about you. When they go to the trouble and they don't skimp and they give you this amazing. And I would love to make Revolutions because each song is like a movie. I'd love to really explore in the liner notes. And should we make Revolution? Should it be colored vinyl or you want black? Look at it. Look at that. It's like blue marble. You see that? And it's beautiful with that cool kind of flat gray label. See, this when you know an artist cares. And then there's a poster. Right? Right, people? Amazing. That new album's amazing. I've seen her live here on some clips. I hope I can see him this tour. I've never seen him live. My friend Dean Carr directed her video. As a matter of fact, he sent me this. I got to show you more show and tell on gold photo paper. This is how rad is this? So this, check it out. This is from the video that he did. Just Google Evanescence Dean Carr, Karr, and you can see the video because it's revolutionary. The video effects he used in this video with Amy, and he sent me this because he knows I'm a huge fan. And if I can't be in Evanescence playing guitar, at least I can have this killer photo. So he did this amazing video. What's that video? Let's look it up on YouTube. And now then we'll show some scorpions. You want to play with my scorpions right now, people? How fun will that be? They were so well behaved. I hope you guys they're hungry. Today I'm going to get them some mealworms. They eat crickets or mealworms. And before I even get them out, I'm going to tell you that They've never tried to pinch or sting. They don't do that. That's not their vibe. Evanescence, Dean Carr. What's the video that he did? It's this one. My Heart is Broken. Everybody knows that song. It's one of their big hits, right? So I just Googled Evanescence, Dean Carr. You can Google My Heart is Broken, Evanescence. The effects he did in that video with lights and the lights she's holding in her fingers and the set that he used. Just watch that today sometime or after this video. Dean's another genius. And he dives with sharks, dude. He's been begging me to go, like, and he gets out of the cage and he's got all these photos. Check his website, deancarr.com. That's Dean Karr to see not only all the amazing videos he's done for Iron Maiden, Ozzy, Dave Matthews, so many people. Evanescence. He's got all his shark diving pictures on his website. First, I'm going to get out the baby. I haven't named the baby yet because I don't know what sex he or she is. So I just call him like the little dude or little doodle. And this little dude loves to be held. And I'll hold him here and then I'll come close to the camera with it. So don't be scared. Never have tried to pinch or sting. They don't do that. They You've been watching too many Hollywood movies, people. Eh, People attach human emotions and attitudes like anger and aggressiveness to animals. Animals don't roll like that, especially scorpions. These are the most sentient, chill. I can't even believe how magical these creatures are. They have ESP because they can't hear me, but yet they do things that I ask them to do and come when I call them. So it's a trip having a pet scorpion. And I'll tell you how I ended up getting into this in a minute, but let me get the little dude here. Hold on. I got to turn off the AC. I want to chill him out. Well, come here, little baby. He's ready to come. There you are. Well, there you are. He's frisky. Hold on, people. Here he comes. Here he comes. Here he is. Well, hi. Well, here's the little dude. They like when I talk high pitch, so I'm just going to have to talk. Hi. You showing off, striking a pose? I'll come close to the camera in a minute. I can I can even take the mic. Well, look at he. He's like, hi. I'm going to come close to the camera. You won't be able to hear me, but I'm just going to come close so you can see him. And I'll let him walk around on me a little bit. They're hungry. I feed them crickets. Yeah, here he goes. There's like a little hair, one of my hairs. They eat. I haven't fed him mealworms, but I saw someone feeding another and he was just eating up the mealworms. So I'm going to try that today. Let's go to the camera. Come say hi to the people. So see how his tail's down? That's how relaxed he is. He has no fear of me. He knows I'm his person. It's just like thinking like sharks who have little fish that swim off them and hang off them and eat the extra food that they don't eat. Or in Africa, look at that tail totally flat and relaxed. That's how much he trusts me. You're cute. Hold on, I'll use the mic to keep him back because he wants to go up on my shoulder. Hold on. Come here, baby. Come here. There you go. So now he just comes over my hand here, and he'll just go. I can just kind of direct him around. There you go. There you go. Yeah. How about that, people? So, as I was saying, like he has no fear of me, so he's not going to try to pinch me. Sometimes he gets in a position just to show off, like, look, I'm a badass. But they're so cool, dude. Look at that. So he knows I'm his person and he's safe on me. He wants to come up on my shoulder because they like to be high up and he sees I'm wearing black and he knows he'll blend in with the black. But see, I just direct him around like this. Like if I don't want him to go up and he's not trying to pinch me or sting me when I put my hand there, he just goes the other way. I'm saying go down here. Not trying to pinch me or sting me when I put my hand there. He just goes the other way. I'm saying go down here. And he just goes down there. Oh, there you go. Oh, there you are. Oh, there, my little buddy. How rad is that little dude? Say hi to the people. Say hi to planet Earth, right? And his tail down because he loves me. He loves being out. He loves being played with. He thinks he's cool. Just like if, those little fish hanging on the shark, they know they're safe. They think they're cool. They're like, oh, yeah. And he can hang upside down like Spider Man. The big one's a little too heavy. She'll fall off. So I got to be careful with Christina. And I'll put him back now, but he would stay out all day, dude. He loves to hang out. He's just so cute and funny. I can't even say enough about this little dude. And again, this one is Vietnamese. And the first time they've ever bred this region in America. So I have the first little clutch of babies. See? Tail down. He loves it. I'll just let you watch him a minute because he's so cute. He's so friggin' cute, right? Show me those pinchers. Show people, yeah. Yeah. How about that, people? Okay, let me get Christina. She's bigger and she can't. I got to be more careful because she can fall off my arm. When I wear a glove, uh, she gets a better grip, but I don't want to wear a glove just because I don't want you to think that I'm wearing it because she would pinch me. Look, little dude can just sit on my thumb. Little dude, yeah, just sit on my thumb. Yeah. Okay, let me put him back. Hold on. Christina's getting a drink. Hold on. Christina's in her water bowl. So she's getting a drink. Hold on. She loves her water. I wish I could just pick up the camera and show you her. She's so cute. But hold on. Let me get her. Hang tight. The little baby wants to come back out. Come here, baby.
baby. Hold on. Takes a little longer because she's in her water bowl. Come here, baby. Come here. Well, here she is. Hold on. Hold on. And you see she fell because she's a little bigger. Watch, I'll get her right on me. Check this out. She can just sit in my lap. Well, there's the little lady. Sitting right on my lap. Can you see her okay? I'm going to put her on my hand. She likes to sit on my lap a lot, but I'll put her on my hand here and then I'll bring her close. Come here, baby. There you are. There you are. There you are. There you are. And again, tail down. See how her tail's down? Look at that, people. Look at my little lady. This is Christina. Now you guys can follow them on Instagram. I have a page. It's Scorpion Christina on Instagram. And like the other night when I did the live, they were a little more docile. They're totally hungry, so they're just chilling. Are you hungry? You want me to get you a cricket? Do I need to get you some mealworms? You see how she's looking right at me? You want a cricket, honey? Sitting right on my finger, people. Look at what well-behaved little lady. Now I'm going to bring her close to the camera, but I don't want to drop her because it's hard for her to stay, because she's big. Like the little one can just, right? See how much bigger she is? Yeah, how about that, people? How about my lady Christina? So I took her actually on tour uh, with Kings of Thrash to 4 dates. So VIPs got a little extra bonus on those days because they got to meet Christina. One guy I took backstage and I gave him his own private experience with her. The road crew said he made his life. Look at that. They are so tame, dude. I can't even tell you people how cool these little dudes are. So I'm going to go get them. They've earned their crickets and mealworms today. I'll get them one cricket and a couple mealworms each and see what they want. I've never tried to feed them mealworms, and there's the stinger. I'd love the guys in Scorpions to see these because I bet Jeff Young Group would be opening for Scorpions on next tour. I could take them on tour with us, right? How rad is Christina, people? Sorry, it's hard to center with the camera because everything's left and right, but right? She's the coolest, and look how tame and they're so well behaved. There you are. Uh-oh, hold on. Hold on, I gotta get her. She's on my laptop. Well, come here, baby. You on my laptop? You want to be on my laptop? Dudes, I wish you could see. She's on my laptop. Come here, honey. Come here, honey. There you are. There you are. There you are. Yeah, there you are. That's a perfect view, right? Perfect view. Sorry, she's being a little hungry. So she wants to explore. And if I was sitting on, like, see, look, I put my hand right up to her. She doesn't try to pinch me. Why aren't you pinching me? See? I can put my hand right on her pinchers. It's easier if I can have the mic close and sitting down, but I want to have her close to the camera so you can see her. But I guess I can just take her back here. Let's push this down a little and bring this back here.
Come here, Christina. Come here, baby. You can just chill right there. Here. Here you go, baby. How about that, people? Right? The little lady. So thanks so much for watching. We've been on. It's going to be an hour and a half. So I think this is a good length. And we've done the show and tell. The little baby wants to come back out. She's mad because she sees Christina having all the fun. She's like, come get me, come get me. But again, I want to thank all you guys who've contributed early in this first week. I can't even believe we're almost 50% to our goal in just 1 week. It's a 30-day uh, campaign. So to be, and there it is right there. Sorry, I'd come closer if I didn't have a scorpion in my lap. Right? We're 45% of the way. It's Ko-Fi, ko-fi.com/JY for Jeff Young, GTR for guitar, ko-fi.com/JYGTR. Help us finish our new album. Go check out all the stuff I've posted. I've really taken care with this page, trying to build the story of the album, because we'll leave you with that. Raising the money and the funds for the record. Obviously, we need to get the album done, and we want to get it done soon. And your generous contributions are going to help us get it done. Hopefully, here in like 2-3 weeks, we'll be done and going to vinyl. But there's two other reasons I wanted to do this whole thing. The second is nobody buys music anymore with Spotify and YouTube and they tube, I should say, and all the different streaming platforms. It's hard to get people interested enough to get up and buy that record, to go pick it up and purchase the physical unit. And I would love, after all the work we've put in and the fact we've recorded a lot of this on analog tape, I think it's a shame to just listen to it on digital. So I'd love it if people bought the record, and using this 30 days to help you get to know the record better, the story of the record, the songs. If you go look on the Ko-Fi, I'm trying to give you, thumbnail images that give the visual of what the song is about, introducing you to the players and their background and all the amazing uh, projects that they've played on besides this album, and just bringing you into the whole story. So this 30 days gives us the time to get this narrative out there. I'm doing a full day of interviews tomorrow, starting at 11 in the morning till 8 at night, talking about the new Kings of Thrash single, Bullets Ready, talking about my new album and this campaign. So I hope somebody watching this, either live or later, will actually mosey on over to our Ko-Fi, and even $10. If we get, the rule of 1,000 fans, if we get 1,000 people, and I have over 10,000 just on my Facebooks, 1,000 people to donate $10 each, and we're way beyond our goal. And so it doesn't take a lot, but a little $10 here, $20 there. We've had some generous people that I'll be thanking profusely online later. And in the liner notes, everyone who contributes, their name will appear in the album on the liner notes. Have given $100, $200. I can't even believe the generosity. And that just lets me know people really want to hear this album and want to have it and hold it. And we're going to make the cover beautiful. And I already know what's inside of it sounds beautiful. And look how good, Christina, just so chill, lovely little lady. And so yeah, if you can contribute today, because crickets and mealworms ain't cheap, all the money is going straight downstairs to pay the studio. And then the next step, once everything's mixed, recorded and mixed, there's a mastering process where you make sure all the songs, you got to send it to a mastering guy and he makes all the songs, the volumes, you don't want one song to be real loud and one song that was recorded in another studio a little softer. So he balances everything and just makes sure he gives the last little hi-fi tweak before it gets printed. So we got to pay him, and then any leftover is going to actually go straight into making. I have a distributor. Even before I sign a record deal, we're talking to a couple labels that I can get a small amount, say for the first 25 people who've donated, uh, of 25 albums, and we would use any of the extra funds to get a batch of 25 albums, and we'll get those out to the necessary folks ASAP, if you know what I mean. Christina, what do you got to say? She's very quiet and chill. Such chill pets to have. The other thing, they're so hygienic. I've never even noticed their poop. For sure, not smell. I don't even see it. I mean, they live in like special dirt that I get, terrain in their aquariums, and the babies is like a clear coffin. It's actually a tarantula cage. They make these tarantula cages that look like coffin. And he's crawling around. He wants to come out so bad. I don't know if Christina would try to eat it. I know scorpions, they obviously mate, but these are from two different regions. I don't want you to eat the little baby. But I'll take you out a little bit later, baby, when we feed you. But again, dude, thank you so much, each and every one of you, for getting us 45% there to wake up, yesterday and see the 45%, that we're halfway there in just 1 week with 3 weeks to go makes us feel really good, gives us a lot of momentum and energy. And I'm writing the solo for Prodigal Son right now and finishing up Lost in Texas. There's just two songs to finish. So this inspiration is, you know, helping me get a great solo together. The more energized you are, and the fans are behind you and our friends and listeners and followers, it just makes us want to make every bit of this album that much better. So again, folks, thanks for your time. Thanks for your attention today. Thanks for sharing this. I hope this live came out good and the volume and the speaking is good. Leave any comments here later. Share this. Make sure to visit ko-fi.com/jygtr and show Christina and the little doodle how much you believe in their daddy. Right? Right. We got some more news. I'll do some more lives in the next 30 days. And actually was thinking about, because I had a radio show 11 plus years. What if we did something like this online and interviewing all the people I know so you could see it and hear it, and we'd have live performances. I mean, I got a studio here downstairs. It's something that's doable, people. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you enjoyed the show. Hope everybody had fun and learned a thing or two about music, life, and scorpions. And can you believe how chill? You're just so chill, baby. So now I got to pick her up and come turn off the live. Here she goes. So now I got to pick you up and I'm going to go end the live. So let's see how this goes. See how easy? There you go, my baby. There you go, my lady. Let's go end this live.